Hi everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Nancy, and if you're new to my channel, please subscribe, share and like my videos. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make this trendy circle crop top. I used half a yard for the upper part of this top. This fabric is folded into two. The first step is to roll out the starting line. The length of the upper part of the front piece is 9 inches. The first line is the shoulder line, while the second line is the length of the upper part of the top, which sits directly on the bust. The neck width is 3.5 inches, while the neck depth is also 3.5 inches. But for a plus size person, you can use 4 inches for both the neck width and the neck depth. So the neck of the top can easily pass through the head when it's worn, since I won't be attaching a zipper to the top. The shoulder is 14 inches divided by 2, which is 7 inches, plus half inch sewing allowance, and that is 7.5 inches. So on this point I mark 7.5 inches. I'll go in by 1 inch. Then I'll connect this point to the neck width to form the shoulder slope. The round armhole is 14 inches divided by 2, which is 7 inches. I'll place the tape on this 1 inch I marked in to mark 7 inches. Now I'll extend this point horizontally, and this will be the chest line of the top. The next step is to get the midpoint of the armhole. So the midpoint of the armhole line here is 3.5 inches. Now I'll use a curve ruler to connect the point to the chest line. On the full length line, I'll place the bust circumference. The bust circumference is 34 inches divided by 4 plus 1.5 inches sewing allowance. Now we are done placing the measurements. The next step is to add 1 inch allowance to the length of the top, in which you'll be attaching the flare part of the top. And on the shoulder slope, I'll add half an inch above the line, to which I'll be attaching the front piece to the back piece. The next step is to cut out the back piece. So this fabric is folded into two. I'll place the front piece on it. The neck width for the back piece is 1.5 inches, but for a plus size person, you can use 2 inches. The next step is to get the length for the back piece, and this is done by adding 4 inches to the actual length of the front piece. Now I'll connect this point to the side of the chest line using a curved ruler. This means that the back piece is a little bit longer than the front piece. Now I'll trace out the armhole for the back piece before trimming. I want the armhole for the front piece to be a little bit deeper than the armhole for the back piece to avoid having excess fold in the front piece of the armhole curve. To reduce this fold in front, at the midpoint of the armhole, I'll go in by 1 inch. I'll connect this point to the edge of the shoulder slope. Then I'll also connect that point to the chest line using the curved side of the ruler. The next step is to place both the front piece and the back piece opposite each other. Then I'll take this to the sewing machine to secure the shoulder slope by 1/2 inch. The next step is to use a bias tape to secure the neckline. After securing the neckline, the next step is to take this piece to the sewing machine to secure the side seam by 1 inch. The next step is to measure the round opening of the top by placing the tape on one side of the seam. Then you measure all through till you get to the end of the seam you started the measurement from. So the round opening for the half cut is 40 inches. Now let's get started with the circle part of the top. The first step is to fold the fabric into two. The next step is to further fold it into two again. So I practically folded it into 4. So the peplum is a high-low peplum, and to achieve this, I'm going to place my tape starting from this edge to mark 18 inches all through. But if you want the peplum to be longer than this because of those with bigger tummy, at this stage, you can decide to use 23 inches, so that will cover the tummy properly instead of using 18 inches. Now I'll trim out the excess fabric at the side. Now I'll open this fold, then I'll adjust it a little in such a way that the distance between the two semicircles is 4 inches, because the front side of the peplum is longer than the back side of the peplum. The next step is to fold the circle into 2 as shown. So to get the wideness of the curve on the peplum that will fit the half cut opening, you have to use this peplum calculation. So this 40 inches is the wideness of the half cut. What you have to do is to divide the wideness of your half cut. So whatever value we get is what you will use for the curve at the top. So the value I got is 6 inches, but since I want pleating at the back of the peplum, I will add 1 inch to that 6 inches, and that will be 7 inches. So I'll be working with 7 inches. But if you don't want a pleat, just work with 6 inches, which is the actual measurement that will fit the half cut. The next step is to trim the upper part out. I'll notch these two sides before opening the fold. Now I'll fold the fabric into two in such a way that the notched parts are on each other. This is the shorter side and this is the longer side. So on the shorter side of the peplum, I'll notch the center. Now I'll fold the upper part of the top into two. Then I'll also notch the center of the front piece. Now I'll place the center of the peplum on the center front of the top to pin on just the front part. After pinning on just the front part of the top, I'll flip over to the back part of the top because I'll be adding a pleating to the back part. Now I'll take this top to the sewing machine to secure the round opening all through by 1/2 inch. So this is how the top should be after attaching the flare to it. For the sleeve, I folded the fabric into two. The length of the sleeve is 14 inches. Plus 2 inches sewing allowance at the sleeve opening. The cap sleeve is 4 inches. The armhole divided by 2 is 7 inches. I'll mark this on the cap sleeve line. So I'll connect the point slantly to the edge of the starting line as shown. The midpoint of the slant line is 4.5 inches. I'll connect this point above the slant line to the starting line. Then I'll connect the other point below the slant line. The sleeve opening divided by 2 is 4.5 inches. Then I'll connect this point to the cap sleeve line. Now I'll add 1 inch to the sides for the sewing allowance. The next step is to add 1 inch to the sleeve opening. Then you connect it slantly to this point. The reason for this is because I am not using a lining to turn the sleeve, and in the process of folding the sleeve opening, it will be short if I don't add this extra 1 inch I added at the side. Make sure you cut the second sleeve. The next step is to fold the hem of the sleeve by 1 inch. You can see that the edge of this fold is equal because we added extra 1 inch to the side. So I'll take the sleeves to the sewing machine to secure the hem. Now I'll fold the sleeve into two equally, then I'll take this to the sewing machine to secure the same allowance at the side. The next step is to attach the sleeve to the armhole of the top. After attaching the sleeve, I will take this top to the sewing machine to secure the hem by folding it in. So this is the outcome of the top. You should give it a try. Alright guys, thanks for watching to the very end, and if you are new to my channel, my name is Nancy. Please subscribe, share and like my videos. Thank you.